What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video. And Doody's going to give you a twofer today. That's right. You're going to get two commentary style videos. One just going over the daily crap video, which is this one. And then the second one where I want to do a deep dive into DSP's new plan to save the business. That's right. Apparently, DSP has a new gimmick that he's going to use to save the business. And, well, sadly, Phil, being that I have a lot of experience with clipping, AdSense, and having multiple channels and so on, I think I can provide you some advice on your plan and whether or not it will save your business. And spoiler alert, it won't, and you got to be careful. Anyway, that'll be the next video because I want to deep dive into that. This video is going to focus on the daily wrap, gameplay, mouse PI, RimWorld. That's right, folks. DSP is finally, folks, listen to Doody's heed at his call and rage quit RimWorld. Woo, yes, thank you, Jesus. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very excited about that. That's right. RimWorld, as you know, I hated that playthrough. Not that I hate the game, I hate the way DSP played the game. It was the most boring thing Phil has ever put out since, I don't know, Feasting with the Pig. It was terrible, man. It was so bad. Every time he would announce he was playing RimWorld, I would just be like, oh, God, please, no. It felt like torture. It really did. It really felt like the Lord Almighty was torturing me for something that I did. But it's gone. Thank you, Jesus. I'm happy about that. So we'll cover the mouse PI and we'll cover RimWorld. Mostly this video will focus on RimWorld because I want to highlight the most insidious part of the whole nonsense with RimWorld and how DSP straight up just used and lied his Dents. And I want to call that out because I think we should call that shit out. We should call it out. He was being a extra fucking douchebag the last few weeks when it came to the playthrough, right? He gave his Dent an ultimatum last night. They met the ultimatum, and this fucking dude still rage quit the game. Good God. Anyway, let's get into it, folks. Let's see what he had to say. I'm going to jump a little bit on the daily wrap, where he focuses on mouse PI and RimWorld. By the way, mouse PI is a good game. Of course, Phil's butchering it, but if you're looking for a game to play, mouse PI is pretty legit. It's $30. You can probably pick it up at a discount, even cheaper than that. But it's a fun game. Don't let DSP's crappy playthrough of it, ruin your experience. So let's get into it.
Mouse PI for Hire and Pragmata and more. It was a good podcast, and then we jumped back into Mouse PI for Hire. Today, the game continued, and it was pretty darn good. We continued to unlock new stuff, including upgrades, including new weapons. I actually got a brand new full auto Tommy gun today, although they don't call it a Tommy gun, they call it a James gun, which I think is a pun on the name James Gunn, the movie director. And the plot.
Again, Phil, most people that consume the internet know who James Gunn is. They get the joke. You don't need to stop and try to over-explain everything, Phil. God, man. That's why everything takes you so long to do, because you feel the need to over-explain yourself. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, let's keep going.
Plot advanced. We ended up going to multiple different locations, including a sewer level, and more. Tons of new kinds of enemies, all kinds of, boss fights, good stuff. Now, this stream was good. I really enjoyed the game. Still, I think that the game is pretty darn good. I hope the game doesn't become samey moving forward. I hope that it keeps introducing new gameplay elements and mechanics and things that keeps it fresh. Like, for example, today, they introduced a hovering mechanic with your tail, and then they introduced a hook mechanic where you actually swing like you're Indiana Jones. I think if they keep adding stuff like that, the game will be fresh and interesting. But if it becomes more like a generic first-person shooter, where your focus is mostly on just shooting everything around you and getting a few new weapons here or there, it might get stale. The plot so far, still kind of interesting, still piquing our interest, and I want more. I really do. So I'm excited for more. I hope that you are too. Today, the attendance was pretty darn good, the engagement was pretty good, and the support was also good. Not nearly as good as the premiere stream, but I never expect that. Still was good support today, so I have no complaints. If we can keep that crowd coming back and hanging out with me for Mouse PI, I'm down for a fun playthrough of the game. So thank you. Check out the videos. There will not be any video montage this time around, okay? We're just going to let it roll, and hopefully you guys will continue to watch and enjoy the playthrough at your leisure, okay? Cool. Now.
Oh, okay. What he's doing here is he's trying to give this the RimWorld treatment, where he's already threatening that he's going to rage quit the game if support isn't great for it. Again, he thinks that the support should be at the level as the premiere stream. And I don't know what's wrong with him, but he doesn't get that those streams, when he does get whaled out, it's typically one dent. One dent that comes in and drops massive support. Your first playthrough of Mouse PI was one fucking person who came in to drop $200. If it wasn't for that one person, you would have cracked $100. Yesterday on your playthrough, you were at $100 till about 6:40 at night. And then all of a sudden, one dent came in and dropped a $50 tip, Joseph Painter, or whatever the hell his name is, right? $50 and left. It's funny because they always come in, drop money, and leave. Almost as if you texted them or they heard the whale call and were waiting to see if you hit the goal, right? The 150 goal, and they saw you weren't. So they came in and dropped the $50, right? And then all of a sudden, NDO came out. MDO 103, super dented individual, came in and dropped 10 members and got you to your goal. And I think you cracked at 150 or 160 or whatever. But again, viewership was down. You barely cracked 200. You know where this is going. But again, Phil, this is you. This is what happens in every game that you play. Doesn't matter what game it is. You know, first stream of it will do good, and then it just will trail off the next stream. Because people come in, they want to give you a chance, they want to see how you play it, and it's so boring. You make every game so super boring. And I don't give a shit this whole fucking interactive experience that you like to sell, where you tell people, oh, I could figure it out myself, but I'd rather have my Dents tell me how to play the game. No, you look incompetent, you look like a poor gamer, and again, I'm not watching a gameplay stream to interact and tell the person streaming how to play the game. I want to see how they play the game. I want to see if they can give me some tips and suggestions if I decide to play the game. Good God. But again, this is what he's doing. He's letting the Dents know, hey, I don't give a shit if this is a 10 or 12 hour game. If you guys don't come up and pay the bills, pay the money, I'm going to wage quit it. I'm going to give it, I'm going to send it to RimWorld. And that's what he's doing here. Good God. And it never stops with this guy. It never stops. And I think what pisses me off the most about him is he tries to convince everyone on the internet that he's a successful person, that he's not broke, that he's not poor. I'm sorry. Your behavior says otherwise. You don't come on stream and act like, the next dollar that you get will save your life every single fucking moment that you stream. That's not a successful person, okay, Phil? And it's quite disgusting. It very is. It just reminds me of the time where he cracks $1,000 for a stream, and then literally the night stream he's begging for money again. It just goes to show that every dollar that comes in, the minute it comes in, that shit is gone. It's either gone on a mobile game, it's gone on DoorDash, it's gone on paying bills or whatever the fuck. Good God, maybe it goes to Cat Sephora's addiction, because we all heard about Cat and her Sephora addiction. Maybe it goes to all of those packages that he receives. Alright, Phil? Right? You didn't think we knew about that, right, Phil? You didn't think we knew about all the packages that come in on the fucking daily from Sephora. That's right, folks. If you don't know, our girl Cat, man, she loves her makeup, her expensive ass makeup, and she orders shit tons of it every day. That's probably why he's broke. It's probably not WWE champion. It's probably Sephora. Anyway, that's another video for another day. So let's keep going.
Now, in regards to the late stream tonight, this was an interesting one, because tonight the big question was, will I continue to play RimWorld as a game in my rotation, or is it time to finally give it a rest? Now, when I say give it a rest, I want to make this clear. That doesn't mean I quit the game entirely and never play it again. What some people have been suggesting to me is that since we have so many games in the rotation and I'm not really making great progress in said games, perhaps what we should do is put some on hold. And in the case of RimWorld, this is not a hot new release. This is not a game that we even have an actual logical ending or stopping point. It's a sim game where you just continuously make more groups and see what kind of new things you can do, adding DLCs, mods, and variables, right? Of all the games in my rotation right now, even though we've played over 60 hours of RimWorld, I think it would be the game that makes sense to put on hiatus and go back to later so I can focus on all these new releases and things that we're not making much headway in. Tonight, we had a great stream. We had a good audience, much engagement. It was challenging because we're in the cold, and essentially it's very hard to keep everything going because your fuel source is just wood. We can't grow crops, so we had to rely on this giant storage of food from the hunting that we had been doing, and a lot went wrong. Our vampire had to go into his death sleep, so he was out for a while. Then one of our colonists got attacked by a killer squirrel that incapacitated them for a long time. What are you gonna do? That's life, right? That's literally RimWorld. That's how the game plays. So I still had a great time with it, but it was a more frustrating night. By the end of the night, things were falling apart. We had run out of wood. Everyone went to chop wood. Now we have no food. There's no animals to hunt. What am I supposed to do? I can't grow food. So we had another conundrum. But I said to everyone, guys, to be honest with everyone, listen, I appreciate people coming out for over 60 hours of RimWorld in the last 3.5 months, but I want to put it on hiatus, all right? It's my decision. I want to do other games. You know, we have Tomodachi Life just came out. I haven't even considered playing it. There's Vampire Crawlers, which I actually want to give a shot. There's other games coming out soon, plus there's big releases like Saros and more. We have to focus on games to finish them. A game like RimWorld.
Okay, I want to stop it right here because, first of all, he's never going to go back to RimWorld because there's going to be no... this is what happens here, Phil. And this is why this nonsense of you putting on hiatus is bullshit. It's just like Stardew Valley. I can name you a host of games that got put on hiatus that never got brought back. You know why? Because those playthroughs are supported by 1 or 2 whales, right? And what happens is they're willing to support it as long as you play it, right? And as soon as you stop playing it, they leave. They wait for another game that they like. They come in and drop support, right? You put this shit on hiatus, all of those people that came out to support are no longer going to support. If you decide to bring it back 6 months later because you're desperate, you need cash, they're not going to be around to support it. They're just going to be like, oh, they've already moved on to another game, Phil. Okay, so this nonsense about you bringing it back isn't going to work out for you, and we're never going to see RimWorld again, trust me. And he said it himself, where he says, well, will it work? Will there, you know what I mean? What happened to, look, Final Fantasy 16, he put it on hiatus, never came back to it. Hades 2, he put it on hiatus, never came back to it. How many other games did he put on hiatus and never came back because he said, well, it's an old game, no one's going to show any interest, the whales that supported it aren't going to support it anyway, so what's the point? Well, fine. This is the clip I want to play because it's pretty fucking insidious, alright. And it lasted 6 minutes. It was at the very beginning of Phil's stream, right? And what he does is he essentially is telling, it's a call to action. Where he's saying, look, guys, if you want me to continue playing RimWorld, I need you to come out and support today. You need to support the stream. If you support this stream, I will continue playing it. Don't you fucking know that, yes, that one Dent, Josh Painter, whoever the hell his name is, came out, dropped a 50, got Phil to his goal, and he still fucking wage quit the game anyway. Which we already knew was going to happen. But the thing is, when you're sitting here, Phil... And you're lying to people, because that's what you're doing. You're making a false promise, even though you knew exactly what was going to happen. What you should have did is what you should have came out and said, hey guys, you know what? I'm putting this game on hiatus. Today's going to be the last stream. If you want to support it, great. If not, fine, I understand. You didn't do that. You spent the whole fucking stream begging your audience to give you money and actually continue saying, guys, if you want me to continue playing this, please give me money. It hinges on you giving me money. And then he wage quit the fucking game anyway, and that, it just pissed me off to no end. When he hit the go, I thought, all right, more RimWorld, great. I hate that. I fucking hate RimWorld the way he plays it. But when he actually came onto the daily rap and said he's fucking wage quitting it, it pissed me off. Because what about those fucking whales and dents that have supported this game every stream? What happened to them, Phil? Are you going to give them a fucking discount? Are you going to return their money back? No, of course not. Let's watch this clip because it just irritates me to no end.
2 new games I'm juggling. In the case of RimWorld, this is a game that you tell the story, right? You're the storyteller because you're dictating the actions of your crew and or survivors based on your own personal choices, right? Either your ability to keep them alive, your ineptitude of the game, whatever it may be. And I've really enjoyed my time with this game, but there's no definitive beginning, middle, or end. You could just keep doing infinite numbers of runs. You could try different variables, right?
No, that's not true, Phil. You can actually, there is a ending to this game where I believe the ending is you develop your science or whatever, you build a rocket ship, and then you leave the planet. Yeah, you can start the game over again or whatever with a different crew, but there is technically an ending, which you didn't even bother doing. None of your playthroughs, none of your worlds lasted but so long. You got tired of it and you just destroyed your world, or it blew up and you started all over. Okay, because you're not a good gamer and you're not willing to put the time and the effort to actually finish the game. then that's your fault. That's not the game's fault. So don't sit here and make it seem like, oh, well, you know what I mean? It's just open box. You kind of make your own fun and there's no ending. Nah, not true. There is an ending. Okay, Phil? This isn't fucking Fortnite.
All this is possible because that's the kind of game it is. But what that means is that right now, at a time when I just started 2 new games that are quite good and I want to keep playing, there's more games coming out. There's actually one I didn't play because I had to skip because I couldn't fit it in the schedule. There's another new one coming out this week, and then there's more the week after. I find myself between a rock and a hard place. For those of you who have been here along for this crazy ride of RimWorld over the last 3.5 to 4 months, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I do. You opened my eyes to a different kind of game I didn't even know existed. But when I'm looking at the entire scheme of things, and I'm saying, if I had to make a tough decision of what game we're going to stop playing right now, it would be RimWorld. Why? Because I feel like we could just take a break from this game, focus on all the hot new stuff everyone wants to see me do, and later on this year, when things slow down, which...
Okay, at this point, Phil should have said, I'm going to put it on hiatus. No matter what the outcome is, I'm going to put the game on hiatus after tonight. He didn't do that. He continues to actually dangle that carrot out there that if you support me on this stream, then I'll definitely keep playing it.
Which undoubtedly they will do. There always are slow periods and times when there's not a lot going on. Then we could come back to it, right? We could suspend this playthrough. We could resume it in the future. I think that makes sense. However, what I do as a content creator is very much determined by you and your feedback and your actions. So I said to everyone, listen, if you love RimWorld and you absolutely wanted to continue, and you do not want to pause, then show up tonight, engage with the content, and support it, and be vocal and let me know. All right? I did a very similar stream on...
There you go, folks. And if you're curious where it ended, let's see exactly where it ended at. Let's see where it's ended at. Let's see how much support this fucking Dent got. You know what? I don't want to play the fucking music because I'm gonna get my shit copy claimed. Right here. Hold on. I'll find it. Let's see here. Right there, folks. 175. 175, folks. That's what he made. He made 175. All right. Now, again, you know what? Let me mute this. Again, Phil, this is pretty decent money for a night stream, right? I mean, haven't you said in the past that if you made $100 on your night stream that you would be content with that? They surpassed your goal, Phil, of 150. Okay, your non-goal. They surpassed it. There it is, Joseph Painter right here with the $50 super chat. They surpassed it, brother, and yet you still decided to wage quit the fucking game. You still decided to wage quit the game. Why? The main reason is because he actually thinks that Mouse PI and Pragmata and the other 2 new games are going to make him more money. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't have to worry. He knows that that's going to make massive cash. The problem is that doesn't always happen, Phil, especially look at Mouse PI. You barely got $150. You had to put the whale call out there last night to get there. So again, you know, this, as much as I hate RimWorld, at least RimWorld's been supported by 1 or 2 Dents. You know, pretty much every stream that you play it, you're going to make your $150. But of course, Phil's greed got the best of him. And he decided to tell these people to fuck off. I don't give a shit. For the last 4 months you've been supporting this. Tough shit. I don't owe you anything. You should have gave me more money. That's essentially what he's saying here. And the fact that he actually came on the beginning of the fucking stream and spent 6 or 7 minutes talking about, now guys, if you want me to continue playing this, please make sure to support it tonight. They come out and support it, the same Den who's been supporting the playthrough for the last 4 months, and you still wage quit the fucking game. Again, then he wonders why people think he's such a fucking scumbag. And this is the reason why you're such a fucking scumbag. Because you figured, you know what, I'm going to wage quit this game no matter what, but I want to make sure I surpass my fucking goal. God, you're a crummy fucking crumb. You're the worst of the worst, Phil, man. And you just don't care. You just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? You don't give a fuck. You don't care how people perceive you. You don't care how, you know, this makes you look like a liar, a deceiver. You don't care about any of that. All you care about is making sure that you hit that non-goal of $150. You got that, so you're telling everyone now to fuck off, right? And then when you get called out for being a liar and deceitful, you get upset and rage out. And I'm pretty sure today people are going to be calling out for rage quitting this game, even though they did support it. And you're going to spaz out, you're going to scream and yell and crash out because that's who you are. Anyway, I told you I'm almost at 20 minutes, folks. I had a lot to say on this, but RimWorld got wage quit. It's done. I'm kind of happy about that, but I'm annoyed that Phil's a scumbag liar and a deceiver. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.